St. Francis Medical Center.
And welcome back. I'm Cory Crowe here with Athletic Director of the Warhawks, John Hartwell, who's with us today. And John, welcome to football season. I know it's been long coming, and we're very glad you're here with us today.
Yeah, great to be here, Cory. And, you know, the anticipation, I was telling a group yesterday that, you know, this is really the most exciting time of the year for every athletic director and a lot of folks involved in college athletics, because you've got a situation where, you know, everybody's undefeated. There's a lot of anticipation for the season, and I think it's especially high here for our folks, our Warhawk faithful, and here in Northeast Louisiana. You know, there's a lot of anticipation about this team, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And, you know, my first Warhawk game day, and I was up about a little after 5 this morning, and I was ready to roll. So I'll be excited about an hour and a half from now when we kick it off and get play underway.
Well, the crowd is great out in the Grove today. It turns out it's a beautiful day. I think if you're like me, I was hoping for 100-plus degrees, and maybe that might slow the folks from Army down, because it was 50 degrees just a couple of nights ago, and I think they struggled to get up to 70 on Thursday.
Yeah, and, you know, I think it's low 90s, upper 80s, low 90s. But the one thing a lot of people don't realize, and obviously we have a beautiful new turf down there, but on that turf, it's about 15 to 20 degrees warmer. So between the humidity and the heat, you know, it's probably 110 or so. Down there on the sidelines, I'm looking across at Army sidelines, and they've got the Mr. fans and everything else down there. I like to give my friend, because I spent 8 years in the Mountain West, and Air Force was in there, and whenever they had a cool gadget, you know, that maybe we didn't have at Utah State or couldn't afford, I said, hey, that's my tax dollars hard at work over there on your sideline.
Well, let's talk about that a minute. You got brand new turf. The video board has also been upgraded here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, excited to have both of those. Really, both of those were kind of a necessity. Our turf was, you know, 9 years old and was very worn and thin in spots, and, you know, not just the nice, shiny, popping, you know, vision of that turf, the new turf, but it's also for student-athlete welfare and safety, because it had grown so thin and slick in some areas. So we're, you know, glad to have that. And then obviously the video board, same deal. We had a video board that was 8-9 years old, and quite frankly, and I heard last year that there were quite a few games where everybody just crossed both fingers and their toes too to keep it working, that it was so obsolete that there weren't replacement parts. So we're really excited with our, you know, partnership with Field Turf on the turf, and then obviously with Daktronics on the video board too, and excited about it. And, you know, that's an important thing that in my 6 months here, I want to make sure that game day experience is great for the fans, and not only have people returning, but have folks talking to others out in the community who may not have been to a ULM game in a while, and say, hey, you know, it's a great experience in Malone Stadium. Come and go with us. And that's how you build a crowd. Obviously, sports marketing 101, winning puts butts in seats. And you know, Coach Bowden and his staff and our student athletes have been working hard to do that. And I feel that is coming, hopefully today, to start the season. But fan experience is really important as well.
Still plenty of time to get out here. 6 p.m. kickoff tonight as the Warhawks are taking on Army. We're talking with John Hartwell here on the Bud Light Tailgate Show. Bud Light wants to remind you to drink responsibly. Stay in the game today. And also, we want to thank Guerrero and Guerrero, serious attorneys for serious injuries. Well, I want to ask you, John, a little bit about before you came to Monroe. You knew a lot of these folks. You've got some familiar faces on staff, and then I guess when you came here, you've been figuring out what staff you have and what their strengths are. And tell me how that's gone this far.
Yeah, it's gone really well, and, you know, I think that's a really good thing to have those relationships throughout this business. But, you know, 26 years in the business now, and I tell young people when I speak to classes or young aspiring, assistant ADs who want to be an AD one day, I said, hey, in this business, the one thing you never do is burn a bridge, because paths cross many, many times. And a guy like Vic Koning, our defensive coordinator, who was with me for part of my time at Troy when I was the AD there, he and I know each other. Terry and I had met each other several times before, had never worked together. But, those things, both directly knowing people, and then the other thing, it's not just the people that you know directly that you work with, but, mutual, very close friends. And that helped give me, an advantage coming in the door, and having been in this league for 3 years, at Troy as the athletic director from 2012 to 15. So able to come in and, we've got great people here. I think I said in my introductory press conference and still feel the same way. For us to be successful here, which we are going to be successful, we've got to have everybody pulling on the same end of the rope. We've got to have everybody with a can-do attitude. It's easy to focus and be a glass half empty person and say we don't have this, or that. I'm one of those people who says, hey, these are the things that we have. Let's build off of those, and the things that we don't have, we're going to work on ways to get those. And our coaches, our staff, and at the end of the day, it's all about the 380 student athletes that we have, and they've been very good about that. We have such tremendous young people across all 17 sports. As our student athletes are really, really excited about the future of Warhawk athletics.
Tell me about today. We're bringing in a service academy for the first time. Now, I remember back when I was a little kid, Roger Staubach played over there in Brown Stadium, but that was a long time ago. That was at Pensacola Naval, and the Quantico Marines came there. But the first time for a U.S. Service Academy as Army comes into town. What does that mean?
Yeah, big deal, not only for ULM, but again, for all of Northeast Louisiana, and we're going to have a great crowd today. I think Army's bringing about 1,200 people, and you look down their roster, and I think they've got 5 or 6 Louisiana kids. One of their best defensive players is from Biloxi, so they've got some kids from the area. But it's really special to have a service academy in here, and I think it's going to be a great football game, a great nationally televised audience on NFL Network. So I can't wait for kickoff.
I'm ready for it, too, and kickoff coming up at 6 p.m. Still plenty of time to come out, and turns out to be a beautiful, beautiful day here at Malone Stadium. John, I want to ask, what's coming up in the next little bit for the Warhawks?
Yeah, we've got, our soccer team, and I know at halftime today we're going to have Coach Will on, and he's done a tremendous job. They're undefeated, 2-0-2 early in the season. They're headed over to Jackson tomorrow to play Jackson State in a road contest. Really good. We have back-to-back home games, so next Saturday we'll be right back here in Malone Stadium for Lamar coming to town. And our other fall sports are underway. Volleyball played in a tournament this weekend in St. Louis. They're traveling back later this afternoon. Cross country got off to a really good start yesterday over at Mississippi College in Clinton. So a lot going on. And, like you said, I invite folks to get out, support the Warhawks. You've still got an hour and 20 minutes till kickoff. Hey, if you're in the area, or even if you're in Bastrop or Farmerville, come on down. It's a great form of entertainment. You'll get 3 hours of entertainment for less than what it would cost you to take a family of 4 to a movie. So come down and support the Warhawks, and let's get a win over Army today.
I'm all about it. That is John Hartwell, Athletic Director at the University of Louisiana Monroe. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're talking ULM soccer. You're listening to the Bud Light Tailgate Show here on Learfield.
Champions never give in. That's why Cadence Bank is the team bank to help you get the extra yard.